What is up, guys? My name is Creature Play and welcome to my newest player review video. I'd like to give a shout out as always to Stewie and Pancake for helping me grab some of this footage and playing a couple games with me. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Golden Ticket 99 overall DRC. He offers 101 speed, 100 acceleration, 100 man coverage, 99 zone, 96 press, 10 to man defense, and 8 to pass rush styles. Some of his other stats in here: he has an awesome 85 tackling, and he also has a pretty decently high 84 block shedding. He also has 92 pursuit and 75 hit power. Today is Saturday. It is April 30th. As always, prices do change, but he's going for about 2 even on PS4 and about 1.8 on Xbox One. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get into it. As always, I do start off with the deep ball and verticals. So I'm probably going to get some guff, about this card, my overall review. I really wanted to like this card. I can't tell you how badly I wanted to like him. On paper, he should be the #1 cornerback in the game. He's almost as good as Dion in coverage, and he also, has the run support game to back it up. On deep balls, he was fine. He wasn't horrible, but he got beat on the deep ball more than any other Golden Ticket or Boss cornerback that I have used so far. It's kind of unfortunate. I don't know why it is. A lot of wide receivers do get that aggressive catch cheese that you always see, but it was just kind of a lot with him, and I really don't know why. I tried several different games. I played a total of 5 or 6 games with him before I ended up selling him, and it was happening in every single game, so it's not like it was a one-off thing. I can say that on deep balls and verticals specifically, his speed was kind of his saving grace. He was, ahead of the receiver a lot of the time, but even if he was ahead of them, they still were getting the catch off, which kind of defeats the entire purpose of having such a fast and tall cornerback. Man coverage specifically, he was just really inconsistent. Like you'll see here, like I said, his speed did come into play a lot, and he was covering routes somewhat well. Like a lot of the routes that you're seeing him actually being able to cover right now, you'll see coming up in just a second, he was getting beat on them a lot as well. And again, it goes into, how I said he is really inconsistent with it. Route running, the only thing, right here you can see this route, basically any route that didn't have a hard cut on it. He's the only other corner aside from Golden Ticket Dion that's been able to actually run ahead of the receiver on the route. And I think a lot of that is his speed and, yes, his man coverage stat as well. But here you see this is the exact same routes. Some of them are the exact same routes, but there are a couple new ones too that I was running previously that he was, able to cover easily, but he just completely blew here as well. And I really don't understand it. The easiest way I can explain his man coverage and verticals, he's just inconsistent, and I don't know what it is. He did cover the C route better than Golden Ticket Dion for the most part. I will say that though. His press is at 96, which doesn't sound horrible at all, but again, it was just really inconsistent. I'd say maybe 3 or 4 out of 10, he would get beat on his press coverage. Again, going back to his speed, it was his saving grace on these, just like it was on verticals or the deep ball, because it's essentially the same thing. But he was kind of, letting the receiver get around him or past him a lot, but he was just able to make up for it because of the fact that he is tied with Bo for the fastest person in the game, But as I said earlier, it negates his speed when he's letting the catches happen so often. And like I said, I'm fully aware that corners will get beat with the aggressive catch, especially by wide receivers in this game, because that's just the nature of Madden, but it happened more with him than any of the other high-end corners. Zone coverage, I will absolutely give credit where it is due. He did not get beat in zone coverage once. His hit power, as you've seen in the last 3 clips, he has awesome hit power despite it only being 75. He definitely was able to break up the pass even if he wasn't there for the coverage to, knock the ball out right away. But for the most part, zone coverage, he had completely locked down. Interceptions, I want you to take a look because I do, like I said, I want to give his credit where it is due. Some of the interceptions you're seeing him do right here, they are on press streaks, or they are on streaks, or some of the routes that he was getting beat on earlier. So he was able to, perform and actually be a playmaker very rarely on them, but it did happen. And speaking strictly on his interceptions, he did get the least amount of interceptions, again, out of any of the other high-end corners that I've used. It's not that he wasn't capable, I'd say, but it's just that he definitely went for the swat or breaking the pass up more than trying to actually go for the catch. I will, again, give his credit where it is due. Aside from Golden Ticket Sherman, he is the best run support corner that I have used so far. Sherman beats him by a little because he actually has really awesome hit power, and he definitely block sheds more than him. But for the most part, he was absolutely able to get off the block every single time on a run. He's got one coming up, you'll see, where he was able to get off of the block still, but he missed the tackle, which was kind of crappy because it led a game-winning touchdown in, which again is why I give Sherman the lead over him in this category, because Sherman misses tackles practically never. So going back to my rating system I've been doing, he absolutely gets a 10 out of 10 for speed. He's tied with Golden Ticket Bo for the fastest in the game, and it was his saving grace on a lot of his coverage. Man coverage, 7 out of 10, left a lot to be desired, and he was really inconsistent. Certain routes he would cover great, and then he'd also cover horribly right after the next play. It really just was really confusing. Zone coverage, 10 out of 10. He did not miss one single zone coverage play. He was always there, but again, just wasn't really aggressive. Definitely went for the SWAT. Pressing, 7.5 out of 10. Once again, just very inconsistent. A lot of the times they would get around him or past him, but his speed helped him. Catching and interceptions, 7 out of 10. It's not that he's bad at it, it's just that he doesn't prefer to do it. He always goes for the SWAT or to break up the pass. He's not aggressive like Pat, Pete, or Cromartie. Run support, almost best in the game. Sherman definitely takes the crown there, but his hit power combined with his, for the most part, awesome tackling and being able to block shed almost every single time, he's definitely one of the best block shedding corners that I've used. So overall, he's obviously not a bad cornerback, but for being a golden ticket, and how about just for the fact that he goes for 2 million coins, you can get much cheaper cornerbacks that will perform pretty close to him, if not just as good as him, for much cheaper. I'd say maybe about half of his price. His speed is really awesome to have. He's great at zone, and he's an awesome run support corner. But for coverage, I would not rely on him on the outside or on the inside. But just keep in mind that this is just my experience with him and how he played for me. As always, thank you guys for watching. Take care.